Okay. So we have Syna with us, and Syna has scored 1500 in her recent SAT exam. This was your second attempt,
Yes.
and you prepared for almost how much time, Syna, considering your first as well as second attempt, let's say?
So my first SAT attempt was in December, but I didn't really study much for it. So I would say my effective study time for this attempt was 8 months.
Oh, 8 months. And in during these 8 months, like if we take an average, how many months did you really work rigorously on SAT? Like, really doing it regularly, 3 4 hours like that.
Well, in total, it would be about 5 months. The beginning 3 months would be January, February, and March,
Mm-hmm.
and then of course April too
Mm-hmm.
for my May SAT, which eventually got cancelled. And then about another month and a half
Mm-hmm.
for the August SAT.
Okay.
And it
Okay.
didn't take a lot of effort to get up to that level because I had already done a lot of the material
Mm-hmm.
beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So this time it was kind of like I had already done some stuff. Now I
Mm-hmm.
just needed to get it back in my head.
Mm. So this cancellation of SAT was like a blessing in disguise for you.
Yeah, it was quite disheartening at the moment, I won't lie, but yeah, it worked out.
Yeah, because when you have done something and when you are already at peak once, it
Yeah.
you know how much effort is required and pretty much how to figure out uh, the strategies to get to that level once again. So in a way, like when I talk to some of the participants now, they always say, I think this attempt would get cancelled. 2nd October, I think it will get cancelled. They always wish, although they are ready, but still they say so.
Yeah.
So, how did you prepare for your English? How did it start? How much did you score in your first attempt, first of all?
First attempt, I don't remember it very well, but I think it was around 650.
Okay. And overall, out of 1600,
My overall score would have been 1350.
1350 around. Okay. So this is a jump of pretty much 1500,
Yeah.
yeah, which is very good. I mean, 1500, 150 actually.
150.
150. I'm adding additional zero, sorry. So 150 during this span of 4 5 months, where you practiced thoroughly and uh, got those marks. So congratulations to you once again.
Thank you.
Let's start with the reading section. So were you able to finish? You said that reading was very tough this time, and it was not like the usual questions
Yeah,
you prepared. So was it really
definitely.
very different from the type of questions you prepared or the previous test papers?
I won't say that the question types were different, but I think the answers this time were quite messed up because I was going through Reddit
Mm-hmm.
and people were talking about the international paper for August, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people were saying that the answers they scored, they expected them to be 100% right, but then when they got the student answer service, it
Mm-hmm.
showed something else, and
Oh,
it didn't
okay.
really make sense to them.
Okay, okay, okay. Which means this time this particular test or the answer options were very mixed up, or probably
Yeah.
with intent they did it. Were you able to finish this reading test in time?
Barely, I would say, because I had finished the entire section. I was still bubbling the answers in, but I had only like 1 minute left to actually get everything in place.
Okay, okay. All right. Let's talk about writing now. So, if first of all, in reading, which particular passage was it like the entire test paper like that, or there were like one or two passages that you found were messed up?
The passages, nothing seemed very messed up on the surface
Mm-hmm.
because it seemed like your ordinary SAT that you get off of college board or maybe the past papers. But
The
this time it was
questions.
just,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
the answers were messed up. It's just
All right,
that,
all right.
yeah. Even the way they were asking questions was the same, but the answers were sort of messed up.
Okay.
But the writing was really good. The writing was okay this time,
Mhm.
thankfully.
Okay. So how much did you score in writing and how much in reading? Do you remember that?
Yeah, reading was 34, writing was 38.
34 on 52. Oh, that's quite a gap.
Yeah.
34 out of 52. This is the
40, 40, 40, 40.
I said 34 on 40. Okay. But you did prepare very rigorously, I can say. I mean,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
did
yeah.
leave any test paper, anything during the practice. Every single test paper was done, all the previous test papers.
I was getting 38 on 40 in the final weeks. I was at a 760. So
Yeah,
after that, getting a 720 on reading was quite a shock.
yeah, I can see that. Yeah. And how about maths? How much did you score in maths there?
780.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's just
Yeah.
maybe one or two questions here and there.
Yeah, even there was one diagram which was seriously messed up. It's like a
Yeah.
circle,
Mm,
and then there were those two like radii coming out of it, and then there
mm.
was a 40 written in the middle of nowhere. So you don't know which angle the 40 belongs to. You just know that there's a 40-degree somewhere, and you have to calculate this angle.
Oh, okay, 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 okay. Mm, all right. So, what do you think? How much time would like an average student take to reach to the level of 1500? How much effort you had to make to come to this level? You took, like you said, 8 months. So, do you think
Yeah.
that this is a reasonable time, or you were going very slow? That's why you took it. How was that?
Well, 8 months I would say by any standard would be quite a long time.
Hmm.
But generally, people should be ready in about 4 months. That would be the average because I know I was ready to give my May SAT within 4 months.
So one should give at least 4 months of
At
time
least four
to
months,
prepare
yes.
for it. And you are currently in 12th.
Yes.
When you
I'm
started,
applying
you
for
were in
college.
11th. When
Yeah.
you took your
I
first
started
test.
at the end of 11th.
Okay, okay. What do you suggest? Is it like good time to take in 12th, or one can
No.
take it in 11th itself?
No. One should try to take it in 11th itself. If it doesn't work out, it's fine. You can try for 12th. But you should try your best not to get it into 12th because it's a very busy year with applications rolling out and board exams, and our
Yeah,
our thing was especially messed up because we are having 2 semesters for board exams
yeah,
this time.
yeah,
So don't leave it for 12th.
yeah. But I can say I can tell that you did it very patiently. I remember the way I used to point out mistakes, and somehow times I also used to get confused because the questions were really like just iota of difference between two options. Just one word used to make the whole difference,
Yeah,
and it takes time and efforts to revise the test and do the same test again till the time you start hitting the right answer in the first instance itself. So you did great there. You had that patience and you persisted throughout,
thank
which
you.
is fantastic. Anything else that you'd like to share to tell the participants, like this is how you should prepare for English? How did you do reading? Let's talk about strategies. You used to read the questions first or the passage first or something like a mix. What you used to do?
Well, first I used to read the entire passage before I started studying for the SAT properly. I used to read the entire passage,
Hmm.
but that is a trick only very fast readers can use, and I'm not that fast of a reader.
Hmm.
So I started doing this thing in which I would read the first paragraph,
Hmm.
try to get an idea of what they were talking about in the passage, and then kind of see the lines which were mentioned in the
Hmm.
questions and just go and underline them, and
Hmm.
also read the summary that they gave at the beginning. So I would have a decent idea what the passage was about. So
Hmm.
then I was able to answer the main idea questions and everything else
Hmm.
in one go itself. I didn't need to think much for them.
Okay. Okay. So you used to read the first paragraph, the last paragraph, get an idea of the passage, maybe some part from the middle also, like, or
Yeah.
no.
Middle only when there was a lot of lines over there, like middle. As in, like those questions which indicate line numbers,
Hmm.
those ones,
Okay.
those ones.
And what about questions? Did you do the questions in the sequence, or you used to break the sequence and do easy questions first?
I used to do the easy question first.
Okay.
I you the script you only gave me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
It
used
got
to
me.
jump back and forth between questions. First
Hmm.
with the easiest ones,
Yeah.
then going to the bigger ones which require you to have a deeper understanding of the passage.
Okay. Okay. And did you have some different strategies for different types of passages, like a narrative passage, a history passage, a science passage, you know, political passage, or was it like same?
It was the same for everything. It doesn't make a difference what passage you get as long as you're able to kind of digest the content.
Okay. So by the end of your preparation, were you able to understand the passages, what they were saying? Because sometimes the content of the passage and the language itself is so complex that after reading the whole passage, you don't know what exactly this guy is trying to say. So
Yeah.
were you able to figure out the message
Yeah.
most of
Personally,
the
I feel like the content of the thing itself is not very challenging, but
Mhm.
sometimes the questions kind of twist you in a way that you second guess yourself.
Yeah, 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 that's right. Okay, I think that's pretty much about the reading part. Now about writing. So what about writing? How did you figure out every question? Because the questions are sometimes context related, sometimes grammar related. So did you read the passage, or did you just read the underlined portion to answer the questions? How did you go about writing?
Yes, so I only read the passage when it was necessary for me to. For
Hmm.
example, there's like those questions which ask you to give a suitable introduction or suitable conclusion or
Hmm.
something along the lines of that.
Hmm.
But I didn't really do any of that reading until
Hmm.
and unless it was required. So
Okay.
it's just like you read the lines that the question is in and you're able to answer it perfectly.
Okay. So before your exam, you must have done like how many test papers?
Don't know.
I think like 10 from College Board for sure, and at
But
least 10 more, 100%.
more than that,
More than that.
more
Yeah,
than
that's
that.
what, like 25, somewhere around 25 test papers overall. More
Yeah,
than that,
yeah.
25.
I finished every
Reasoning.
resource that was available on the net.
Oh yeah. So I think this kind of dedication is really necessary to reach anywhere near 1500 or above. And I think
At least 99 percentile.
at least 99 percentile. Yeah, this time the test paper was difficult. With
Yeah,
1500, the percentile was 99.
yeah,
So yeah, you did pretty much like 25, 30 tests before going for the exam. So
yeah.
this was commendable. And I think, yeah, I
Thank
mean,
you.
just for others to understand how much kind of efforts are required, because sometimes people undermine and think that, oh, 1500 or
Yeah.
1570 or 80 is something which is easy. So it is not. And yeah, this kind of effort and dedication is required. So congratulations once again to you.
Thank you.
Anything else that you would like to share before? I think, yeah, are the questions I would like to ask. Yeah, one more thing. The last thing is about maths. So how
Oh,
did you prepare for maths? Was it like with the test papers, or you did individually each of the topics related to mathematics?
see, anyone who has passed 10th grade can do almost all of the questions,
Hmm.
except some topics are in 11th grade, like circles and everything. I'm going by the ICSE curriculum, by the way.
Hmm.
So it shouldn't be too hard for someone to
Hmm.
just get a flavor of the concept. So that's what I think individual questions are for. Instead, what maths focuses on in SAT is trying to trick you. Like
Hmm.
even in maths, they kind of phrase the question in certain ways that you would miss the thing that they're actually asking. So
Hmm.
that's something you need to be really careful of.
Hmm.
And then there is just think about your timing. Like you
Yeah.
can't run out of time on this test. You have to give like 1 minute max to every question.
Great. So in maths also, you were able to finish the whole test like within the
Yeah,
time limit.
yeah. I was able to finish before the time limit.
Oh, okay. Oh, that is great. Okay. Fine. I'm done with the questions I wanted to ask. Anything else that you can that you can share? Now, I don't have any questions for sure.
Yeah, I would just say that anyone who wants to score well on the side just needs to know that practice and smart practice and analysis of your mistakes is the only thing that's going to get you there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you can do it, then you're great. But I got a lot of help from Rajiv sir, and I don't think I would have been able to do anything
No,
without
you
that.
really worked hard for sure. You made your corrections log also all the time, and you
Yes.
send it. So I think
Yeah.
that was also great. And congratulations to you once again. I'm sure you'll do great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.